Making things easy to understand. So far, we have talked about how learning a language can be a really enjoyable experience, but it can also be affected by how teachers use techniques. We will explore various techniques that can help simplify information and make it easier and clear for your students, which is also crucial for their progress. It is important to understand that if you can't make information easy to understand, your students will not be able to learn effectively. Now, let's discuss good teaching techniques in general. We all have had great teachers who might have used various methods to explain things clearly. They have probably used tools like whiteboards, PowerPoint presentations, diagrams, and maybe even stories and metaphors. When these techniques done well, they can enhance communication and make concepts easier to grasp. If you remember some good information you learned from your teachers, this means that these teachers have used techniques that matched your ability to comprehend, to understand, to grasp. So, they have taught within a zone that was neither too difficult nor too easy. As explained by Lev Vygotsky, a Russian psychologist, teachers should be aware of 3 different learner zones. Number 1, what the learner already knows. Number 2, what the learner doesn't know yet. Number 3, what the learner can do with the teacher's guidance. This 3rd zone is called zone of proximal development. Teaching in this zone could be very effective. Just like cake, it is very delicious when it's perfectly prepared and served. In this regard, Stephen Krashen, an ESL theorist, has a similar idea called the input hypothesis. It says that learners need to receive input that's just a bit beyond their current understanding to make progress, just a little bit above their level, slightly challenging and somewhat new. He calls it I+1, meaning input plus new information. This is exactly the zone of proximal development. Now, let's talk about what happens when you don't teach in the proximal development zone. Here's a quick story. I used to teach in 2 different English training classes, Simple English and Business English, or beginner level and advanced level. One day, a smart student from the beginner class wanted to visit my other advanced class, the business one. She was new to English, but she was doing great in her beginner. Learning new things every day, and she's happy. But when she joined my business English class for the first time, she never smiled again. She told me afterward that I was speaking too fast and using difficult words and terms, a language that was too complex for her to understand. So she went back to her beginner class and doing great as usual. In Krashen's terms, I was at I+10 zone for her, way beyond her understanding. On the other hand, you might have the opposite situation. Smart students for boring and easy classes. For example, just like this one.
Welcome to new English class. Please repeat after me. This is a house. A house. A house. This is a man. Please repeat after me. A man. A man. Now repeat this sentence 3 times each, one by one. Go around the class. Repeat. This is a house. This is a house.
This is a house. In this situation, you understand all the concepts the teacher is explaining. So it is, simply put, boring. Krashen calls this I plus 0, meaning the input is entirely within your understanding, within your grasp, and no real learning takes place. Nothing new. Everything is the same. In summary, we want to avoid sharing information that's just too advanced, or let's say too basic or too easy. We want to provide information at the I plus 1 level, just challenging enough without overwhelming. A little bit hard and new, but not boring and exhausting. You need to find that zone that helps students by breaking down information and using techniques to make complex ideas understandable. That's what the proximal development zone is all about. In the next 3 videos, we will be talking about the 3 different techniques to help you connect with students: body language, teacher talk, and scaffolding. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.